Alright, so I'm making this video. I'm doing a recording of some sit and goes, and I'm going to play 6 sit and goes total. So I was having a conversation. I went back to home to New York to see some family. I currently live in Las Vegas, but I went back to see some family, and I was talking to a friend of mine. I haven't talked to in years, just randomly about poker, and I was basically telling him that it wasn't really enjoyable for me to go to some of the casinos and play live poker for a lot of different reasons. I don't like driving all that way. Not that it's a incredibly far drive, but I live by South Point Casino, so it's like 6 miles up to the Strip, and it's all highway miles. But getting there, then parking, and then going to the casino, getting on a list for a game, and then getting in a game you want to play in. All that stuff factors in my decision. I mean, I just prefer to play online. I could also play different types of games. This particular site I play on, WSOP, is a really small site. It doesn't have a huge player pool. If you're used to like what full tilt poker was back in the day, or party poker, Poker Stars, any of that stuff. So basically, cash games, you only get Omaha and pot limit Omaha and no limit. You don't get any limit games. You don't get Omaha high-low. Nothing like that. So I tend to just play a lot of tournaments and play cash games on the side and things like that. So just kind of going over some of the basic stuff that I do for sit and go play. Now, I mean, I could have shipped all in right here with Ace King, with the king hitting the river. But the thing is, like, I'm certain he doesn't have anything strong. Either he has a flush draw that missed, or he has like a 7 or a 9, and he wouldn't call it all in bet. So I just tried to go up. Maybe should have even went smaller than that. I went like a third pot, but it represented like half of his remaining stack. And if he folded second or third pair, it's probably a pretty disciplined fold, because sit and goes, you just want to make sure that you have some chips for when the blinds start to escalate, and you get into that point where it's basically everything is either all in or folding. So I'm in the early stages right now of these sit and goes. I think this one right here is the only one where the blinds have escalated a little bit higher. They're like 50, 100, so everybody effectively has like 20 big blinds. That's definitely the average. Oh, excuse me. No, I'm wrong. All right, so the blinds are 25, 50, it looks like. So in the early stages of, I don't know, the blinds are 50, 100. How does that make sense? Oh, okay, it just went up. All right. So in the early stages of sit and goes, I'm really just playing really tight and trying not to make any glaring crazy mistakes. Trying not to invest a whole lot into pots. Playing real small. Like if I have, if I can get it all in aces pre-flop, that's the most ideal situation. But once it hits the flop and it's like a multi-way pot and I got pocket aces, I'm going to play that hand very, very delicate. In case I get sucked out on, I want to keep some chips behind, because, eventually these blinds escalate so fast that you're going to get in a situation where just a blind steal is really going to increase your stack like a decent amount, relatively speaking, because everybody's going to be on a short stack. So, I just play these extremely tight early on, and then as the blinds escalate, I get to like a 20 big blind stack, I start to really kind of amp up the aggression in a smart way, not like anything too crazy, but you'll see when I get in. These are all turbo sit and go, so my video here shouldn't be more than like 40 minutes. I'll try to play until I finish all of these and kind of see what happens. So these tournaments are mixed between $5 and $10 buy-ins. And unfortunately, on WSOP, they only have 6-handed tournaments. I'd love to go back to when they used to have the 10-handed sit and goes like on Party Poker. All right, so here's an example. I got Queen 8 on the small blind. This guy has less than 10 big blinds. I'm just going to shove all in on him. Here with the Ace King and check behind. Now I'm kind of in a, the flush draw hit. He could have made a weird 2-pair or something like that. I'm not going to really go for value, although I probably could. In a cash game, like I would definitely bet for value in that situation. But just because the chips were so early and the chips are very valuable and the blinds are going to escalate fast, I don't want to get in a situation where I just lose more. So I just kind of take that. Yeah. So I'm kind of experimenting with doing the real-time sit-and-go analysis. I think that it might even be better. Or it also may be like a little bit more tedious for anyone watching the videos as far as if it's as interesting or boring to you. If I was to record this and then do a analysis afterwards where I can pause the video and rethink some of the stuff. But I'm just going to have to go wing it from here. And so I'm going to do videos like this with cash games as well. I'm just kind of want to show people like how you go about like multi-tabling and like what my reasoning is. Pretty much I'm folding probably more than half the hands I play anyway. So, like for example, Ace 9, if this guy here raises under the gun, I'm going to be folding Ace 9 offsuit there for sure. If this guy raises, I'll probably also fold. I don't get too far out of line as far as like 3-betting in these. Maybe when it gets later in a tournament, I might make some plays, but I'll try to raise up this limper here and just see if I can exploit him in position, being on the button. All right, so he shoves all in, probably about, looks like 18 big blinds. Yeah, it's just too big with my hand. If it got to the point where he was shoving 6 or 7 big blinds and I had King 9, I'd feel a lot more confident if I had the chips to invest to just calling there, because he would have to be shoving a lot lighter. So in this situation, he's shoving pretty tight. He should be anyways by theory, and he's a regular player that I see at these games a lot. So all right, here I'm just gonna let this hand go to Ace 9, not get too out of line, but because he's a regular player, I feel like his range there would probably be like Ace 10 or better, maybe even Ace 9, and then pocket pairs. But I feel like my hand is just a little bit too speculative. Maybe King Queen, King Jack I would consider calling, but not King 9 in that situation. All right, so I raised it to 80, and again, this is why I was saying, early in these tournaments, when these chips are, when the big blind is really small, and these people have a lot of chips to play with, they're going to call a lot more light, and just kind of looking to gamble, really depending on their experience in sit and goes. Sit and goes are very mathematical, and pretty much it just comes down to a point where you're either shoving or folding, and we're pretty much effectively at that point here. I'm the only person with a 20, well, he also has, but with about a 20 big blind stack. So basically, I'm not going to have the implied odds in a situation with like pocket sevens if somebody raises under the gun to just call and hit a set. I'd have to make a decision based on that player and some other factors if I feel like I should shove all in or if I should fold. And there's a ton of things that factor in. How many people are getting paid, how close I am to the bubble. This is kind of like, obviously these are sit and goes. Only 2 people make the money in each of these tournaments. But a whole bunch of different things will factor into my decision in that situation. But like under 20 big blinds, I'm pretty much either raising or folding and going all in over the top of a initial raiser, or folding. You just don't have the implied odds and the stack sizes to just call somebody in position. Unless you're trapping them, that can be a little bit different. So I got 10 big blinds, ace queen suited. I'm just effectively just going to put it all in. I guess I could have made an argument to raise and then maybe trap with ace queen. The problem is, you might potentially get a bunch of people seeing a flop. Now this is a situation I'm going to raise just to make it a standard raise. I want to see somebody ship all in over the top of me, because with ace king suited, I'm going to be way ahead of their range. They should be 5-handed table. They should be re-raising all in with ace queen, ace jack, things like that. So I want to get in a situation where I force them to put the money in. And then, obviously, like pocket pairs, they're going to get all in too, and you're going to be a coin flip. So, from there, as a coin flip, it's still not a bad situation for you. All right. So he ships it all in first act. He should be shipping pretty wide here, but obviously I can't defend with 3-2. Probably my cutoff would be king, queen, king, jack. Potentially may even fold pocket pairs 7 and below. All right, so I just completed a blind here on this bottom left-hand corner. Pocket 2 is just to kind of try to hit a set. It was just a very small amount to me, so decided to take a shot with that. So in position with 9-7 suited here. Wow, just flopped a straight. That's cool. And he got him to go all in front of me. So very fortunate on my part. Got pretty lucky on that hand, obviously. But all right, so ace queen. So same deal. I'm gonna just make a standard raise, and I'm gonna hope that one of these guys ships it over the top of me. And kind of not what I wanted to see with him just flatting and then leading out. It's fucking awkward, but I'm just gonna ship it all in on him, see what happens. Probably might not be the smartest thing in the world, but all right. So he actually folded up there. That donk bet thing it's just a real thing. When some of these guys like lead out in front of you, like as a bluff, and then you just raise them. I see that happen a lot, and you would think that people would get wise to it, but they haven't really. All right, so obviously top 2, I'm calling here, and hand's gonna hold up. So I'm running pretty good right now, which is great. And let's see. So if this guy didn't raise, I would shove all in here with 10 big blinds. With a7 on the button. I feel like I need to be a little bit stronger, maybe ace jack or better to go ahead and 3-bet and shove all in. Usually the cutoff, all right, so just off of pot odds, 400 to win 1,000. I'm going to call here with king 7. All right, so ace king. I'm just going to standard raise, and I fully intend to play the hand all the way through. Yeah, even if he shoves all in, I'm not going to fold, and I'm just going to go ahead and shove all in. And that's kind of the danger of doing what I just did, as far as just min raising and allowing this goofball to call a queen 10. So ace high, I'm just going to ship right here. It's a little speculative because it's so deep, but you don't want to be in a situation where you're out of position with your hand, and it's better just to ship it all in. Blind versus blind. Basically, the odds that he has a hand that's going to have ace-3 dominated is pretty slim. He may call off with hands like king, queen, king, jack, king 10, and you're effectively racing with them. You're a small favorite, but so if this folds to me, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to ship him all in. All right, so turned a set of sixes on a very, very good board. Basically, only kings, pocket kings, or pocket sevens beat me right now. So, all right, so we're down three-handed here, and I apologize if I'm jumping around, but the play is going to get very frenetic because I'm starting to get short-handed. Obviously, I'm playing a lot of tables right now, and it's going to be, like I said, it's going to get pretty frenetic as far as the play goes. And all right, so just going to go ahead and shove all in with pocket eights here. I'm just going to shove all in with ace queen. I might have made a mistake there. I probably should have, right here with this 10-6, I probably should have just shoved all in on his hand when he limped in. It's not the end of the world, but I feel like you just got to put like tons of pressure on people in these sit and goes. And I'm going to go ahead and bluff at it. Tons of pressure on people in these sit and goes. And unless you have a good read that he's trapping you by limping in, it's probably a good idea or a good chance that he's going to end up folding that hand anyways. All right, so I was chasing a flush draw, I river an ace. I gotta pay him off even if, yeah, so I got lucky there. All right, perfect. He ships. I'm just going to isolate. I go with pocket kings and the small blind, excuse me. All right, so now this is a situation with less than 20 big blinds. I'll raise and fold this queen jack. Blinds are a little bit too big to ship it all in with the queen 10 there. And I'm going to go ahead and make a 3x raise with the ace 8 and the big blind. All right, so I call one time with a gut shot here, see what happens. If he checks to me, I'm probably just going to bluff at it, but I'm just going to give up here. I got a pretty good stack, and we're starting to blinds are starting to escalate, so I could be putting pressure on people. Alright, so I'm hoping this guy raises all in with blind versus blind. Alright, so very wet board, coordinated, all the same suit, Jack 10. Basically, any like Broadway hand is going to be all over that. So I'm pretty much done with this hand now. Alright, so flop second pair heads up. Pretty strong over here in the top left. And I'm just going to call and see. He's just probably position betting. All right, so I turn top two. All right. I'm a check and just, I'm trying to let him bluff at it, honestly. All right, so here 15 big blinds. Just pretty much just shoving it all in with king high suited on the pretty. I mean, it's probably pretty close to the cutoff as far as if that's a plus EV shove or not. Now shoving through three people ace high. I'm just gonna fold here. All right, so I'm just gonna heads up blind versus blind. Just put him in a decision. Yeah, I'm very surprised he actually called with Jack 9 there. Pretty speculative, but all right. So first sit goes down, and won this one. So it profited, well, won 35.88. So it's a $10 sit go. So profit $25 approximately, and all right, so shove 5-3 suit is not strong enough. This is just off of pot odds. I gotta go ahead and call him here, and unfortunately, I'm drawing dead now on the turn. Ran into pocket kings. All right, let's organize these tables a little bit here. Ten four suited is just not strong enough to ship in on him. If I had anywhere between like 9 and less big blinds, I probably would. All right, now it's getting a little dicey here. As far as the ace-8, I want to shove all in, but with his stack, he shouldn't be raising and folding, so I feel like he could be potentially trapping there. I'm just not strong enough in my mind to hold up to like anything he's gonna be trapping with. So, all right. So I checked behind here because I didn't really want to bluff at the chip leader. And with these two short stacks, obviously I'm playing trying to wait for them to bust out, as well as at the same time trying to increase my stack. But I got to be pretty smart about it. All right, so shove all in under the gun. Now, if he reshoves all in, he should actually be isolating pretty wide. Oh. All right, I'm a call. So lost with 9s versus 7s down here, so that kind of sucks, but it happens. All right, so running good at this table. So pretty much, got to play relatively straightforward. 30 big blind stack right now. Let me switch over to. All right, so queen 6, I'm going to fold. So I'm going to raise, and then I'll fold to anyone shove with ace-2 suited here. I really don't like that. All right, so if we were deeper, I would check behind, but I'm just going to go ahead and bet. Now, if he had a pocket pair, he really should be only shoving. He shouldn't be limping in here with his stack, but he really should be only shoving against my raise. So if he had a pocket pair, it's just not going to give him the implied odds to just try to hit a set. Obviously, I'm going to be continuation betting with a bigger stack than him on a lot of boards. So effectively, he's just playing bingo at that point. All right, so I'm going to call his bet one time. Second pair with a gut shot, and I didn't like the fact that he called behind me, so I'm pretty much shutting down here. All right, so he actually had the same pair I had, but he had me out-kicked, so, I mean, that happens. All right, so I got pocket kings over here. It's going to be a raise, and part of me wants to shove all in. I feel like there's a time in my career where I would have shoved all in here. But I'm not going to right now. If I was a little stronger, ace-9, ace-10. But he should be raising from the button like any king-jack, king-queen, along with, his hands that would have me beat. So obviously when I make my decision, I'm making a kind of a quick calculation against a range of potential hands that he has that he's raising, and I'm making a decision if how well my hand is there. He'll never raise, and I'll never say like, I think he has ace-6, so I'm going to call with ace-7. I kind of just calculate out. Back in almost 20 years ago, 2006, 2007, I studied a lot of sit and go math as far as using some of the software. So I kind of got very familiar with the frequency of hands that she should be raising and folding. So if it folds, if he folds here, I'm going to shove all in. So now he's starting to raise a lot, and kind of let him take control of this table. Maybe I should have shoved all in with that a7 to kind of take control. But then again, you know, I could have been completely drawn dead or been dominated. So it doesn't surprise me he does that. Given the fact that this guy right here is so short, because he's so short, he can put a lot of pressure on me. So he makes an effective 20 big blind shove, and he can do that just to put pressure on me because of his stack and my stack and the fact that I'm waiting for this guy to bust out. All right, so for the same reason that I just said, I'm going to go ahead and fold my Jack 10 there, because I have to assume that he might shove it all in. All right, so raise, and then I decided to go all in with King Queen, and he called, which is very bad. So wow. So I don't know why it came back to him and he decided to. I mean, I think with Ace Jack, that should probably be a fold. I don't know what this guy was doing with Queen 9 there, but they pretty much just gave me a gift. I mean, Ace Jack is kind of on the fringe, but a raise and then a shove. Granted, it's only a 5-handed table, but Ace Jack just really goes down in value. Alright, so he doubles this guy up, which, from his situation with his stack, sometimes it's good to give the short stack a little bit more chips, because you can just keep putting pressure on like the medium stacks. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and shove all in with the ace on the button there. I kind of felt like this might be a little speculative, but I just kind of felt in my head like I had to win a pot, just kind of get back into it. Alright, so this guy just go back to limping on the button. And, if you're playing online poker, you got to be taking notes on people. And this would be a good situation to take notes and kind of just say that this guy is a passive sit-and-go player. I definitely wouldn't label him as a regular. I don't think like any regular would be playing that passive as far as just limping on the button. So, if you color code or... Alright, so I get check raised. I'm just going to go ahead and fold this here. Obviously bottom pair, but... So the blinds have escalated real high up in this one, and pretty much three-handed, everyone's effectively like 12 big blinds. Alright, so... This is a spot. I'm going to go ahead and fold King Queen there. It might have been a bad fold, but so I do think I'm gonna do one of these videos where I just record myself. All right, so 10 big blinds on the button. I'm just gonna shove all in with Jack 9 suited. And I run into a situation where I'm dominated, so that's gonna happen. I know people will probably look at that and say, why are you going all in with Jack 9 suited? But given the fact I got 9 big blinds, and I mean, he had Ace Jack, so he had to call with a premium hand. And you're increasing your stack by almost like 10% every time you win a hand like that. And you're putting pressure on your opponent. So like here, I'm just going to shove all in on this guy. We already know he's pretty passive as well. So you're going to get in a situation... like here's a perfect example. He could pretty much only call with premium hands. All right, so 13 big blinds effectively. All right, so I get fortunate here, but on the button I'm going to shove all in with ace 8 every time there. Alright, so I'm back. Back heads up that tournament. So a lot of times this guy's a regular player, and I think that he's familiar with me as well. The reason why I just didn't ship with King High, like put him all in, or at least me go all in, is because I think it's very potentially that he could have just been calling to trap me to see if I would shove all in. So he might have had a pretty strong hand there, and that's why I kind of didn't just put him to a decision. All right, so and also too, when you get this deep and he's going 9-2 versus Ace-3, you're not in terrible shape. You're like a 40% favorite. So you're gonna lose most of the times, but it justifies shoving all in and putting him to a decision. Even heads up. All right, so King 4 suited is just not strong enough to call. It's like effectively 17 big blind shove. But we got a little bit of play here. I would say heads up when you get down to 10 big blinds or so. That's when you're going to be shoving all in every single time, either shoving all in or folding. This guy's playing is a little bit more aggressive as far as just getting all his chips in, and so I have to adjust to that and lighten up my range as well. All right, I'm just gonna fold Jack 4 there. So, all right, so this is an example. I don't think this guy is trapping the way Wemby UFO over here was trapping. So I'm just gonna ship all in. See if I can get him to... I remember at that last table he called all in with like Jack 9 or something when I had a premium hand. So, alright, so before when I shipped all in and trapped him, now I'm gonna try to keep him on the hook. Got pocket aces. I'm gonna try not to bet as big. Just try to get him to start calling some bets, putting more money in the pot. Maybe by the time the river comes. Alright, I'm going to ship all in with Jacks here out of position. And also, the fact that I'm out of position plays a part in why I'm just shipping it all in. Alright, so now 10 big blinds. I got pocket 4s, heads up. I'm just going to put them all in. I don't want to make a raise and then have him just call like a standard raise. And then put in a situation where, I have to make a determination when he leads out, whether he has my pocket 4s beat. Obviously, damn near any card that comes is going to have pocket 4s. Is going to be a dangerous card for pocket 4s. All right, so I turn a straight. All right, I'm going to go ahead and raise him. He would need 3-6 to beat me. All right, pocket 8s, heads up. He only has 10 big blinds, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep shoving in on him. He has ace-10, which is the correct call, and I lose a coin flip here, so it's no big deal. Shit's gonna happen. Still, almost got him 2-1 in chips. Alright, so... Alright, I think the blinds just went up in this, over here in this tournament, so I'm pretty much at the point where I need to be shoving all in, and I'll probably call his shove. If he shoved and I had the ace-3 there, I would have called his shove. So let's see, king 8, that's good enough heads up. I'm just gonna shove it all in. Now I'm gonna have to bluff at this right now, just because Jack High is he'd have like pocket 4s, 5s, or 6s, something like that, and try to get him to fold those. Yeah, I pretty much know every time and I'm taking a mental note of this. I'm gonna call his bet. Oh, so yeah, pocket aces, okay. But I'm keeping a mental note of every time I limp in and he shoves, because I'm gonna look to try to trap him. Even a hand like ace ten or ace jack, and at this point, I'm not gonna limp in anymore, because he's shoving pretty wide on me. So if I have a hand I'm willing to go in with, and I'll limp in and then just call his shove. But I'm gonna be pretty smart about what I do. All right, I think I got a call here. King 10 heads up. He's just been shoving too wide, and actually, luckily, I got him dominated. All right, so I river a straight, but I had him pretty much drawing his 9 versus my 10. So I think King 9 is the right shove. I probably would have shoved that heads up as well. So, I mean, there's obviously a lot of luck that comes into playing poker, and you're just playing a numbers game. Shoving all in here with 6-5 against his stack is... yeah, it's basically just a math situation. All right, so ace jack. I'm going to be out of position, so I'm just going to shove all in on him. All right, queen 5 suited. I mean, I really don't want to lose a hand with this stack, but I feel like you're not getting many opportunities. All right, so now pretty much down to where I'm 2-1 in chips. Still have a lead, but now I'm at a point where if I lose a hand, oh, didn't I just say I wasn't going to limp in? But shit happens. All right, I was at a point where I said if I lose a hand, yeah, he did it again. All right, so. Yeah, now he's pretty much shoving almost every hand, which he's justifying doing so. So I'm gonna pretty much actually, you know what? I'm gonna try this here. Wow, interesting. The only time I have a hand I'm trying to trap, he doesn't shove. Maybe he did have a hand or something justifiable all those times. And I turn second pair with a nut flush draw, river a nut flush. I'm hoping he has like a 10 of spades or 9 of spades, something like that, where he just decides he's going to call me. Yeah, 5 of spades. All right, so that's good. So I won my second one. So out of, 6? So I won 2. And I'm going to at least finish second in this one, but hopefully I can finish this guy off. So, I'm just going to bluff at this. Alright. Alright, so I flop top pair. Turn, see what I can extract out of him. So, just in case he has a flush, I'm going to bet like 700 to get him to call. I wouldn't think that he has a flush, but when I rivered that full house, he would obviously check a flush if I checked it to him. So I didn't want to get in a situation. Usually I'd let him bluff at it, and I would check to him. But since that he could have potentially had a flush and just decided like he didn't want to risk it. All right. All right. Just gonna ship it all in on him. This is another person that I could effectively take some notes on. He's a very passive sit-and-go player. Doesn't understand the concepts of getting down to like a shorter stack. Obviously, king queen. And my heads up shove with Jack 4 might have been a little bit light, but King Queen he's gonna call like every time, but he might not be calling with hands like King 9, King 10, things that he might be mathematically justified in calling with. Alright, so this time I'm gonna shove again with Ace 9 suited. But I'm gonna be able to get back into the sit and go pretty easily with the way he's playing, because I can just start shoving things. I'm pretty confident he's only gonna be calling with I really could have trapped with this hand, but I'm not confident that he's going to make a loose shove on me, so. Yeah, see, I've already got up over him in chips, so. I might have forced him out just now. I mean, he probably has. You know, in my head, like, I think in my head, like, these people just cannot be fooled a million times in a row. And sometimes that is the case. Yeah, like, he obviously would have folded 9-2. But in my head, like, I'm thinking, like, he can't possibly get fooled this many times. So he's probably trapping me. Yeah, so I don't know why I tried to get cute with this ace queen, but didn't cost me anything, but I probably should have just raised it. All right, ace 8. Yeah. So I get in against ace 7. It's probably going to be a split pot here. Yeah. I mean, that's probably the absolute worst hand he's going to call an all-in with. So pretty much know I can just chip away at him. Yeah, ace 7. I'm going to do this again. Nope. And he hits a 3-outer on me. All right, so it's basically. Oh, I'm still in it. For some reason, I thought I just got busted out. So, so really, from his, if I shoved in with my stack, I'd be calling with any type of 2 Broadway, any pocket pair, any 2 Broadway cards, things like that. I'm not out of this tournament, even though my stack size, I can still chip away at it. I can still, if I win this flip right here, which, I just won this flip, I'm back more chips in them. So, never give up any singles if you play them. Just kind of keep chipping away, especially if you got a guy that's like playing very passive like this. 4-3. Maybe I mean, honest God, maybe I'm chickening out here with this because obviously, like, I'm just able to take advantage of him the way I've been playing, and he's still limping and folding. So even though in my head I think that it's not going to happen every single time, I pretty much need to just shoving all in on him. And the 2 times he actually called me, he had ace 3 and ace 7, so he hasn't shown like any, calling light. All right, so I ran ace 7 and ace queen heads up. I mean, it is what it is. And his ace queen holds up, so I'm pretty much down. I'm just going to be going all in every single hand. So. All right, first hand holds up. Ace Jack, this is going to be a... Oh, alright, so he flops trip 10s. Alright, so obviously you can see this these games are still profitable. I mean, this guy doesn't, as far as sit and go theory, this guy really doesn't know what he's doing. He's not playing aggressive enough for his stack, and those are things that you can do to take advantage of people. You have to understand that you have to shove or fold when you get down to less than 20 big blinds, but definitely less than 15 big blinds. Like, you're basically going all in or you're folding. So they have these shoving chart calculators. I think there's a program called Poker Stove. I'm not sure if it's still popular. I kind of just getting back into online poker, but I might research some of that and then do a video where I play a bunch of sit and goes and then do analysis afterwards. But this is I did six table, a bunch of sit and goes. I think I finished second in one, and then I won two of them, and they were ranging between $10 and $5 sit and goes. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like videos like this, leave a comment and say if you want me to make some more videos like this. If there's anything specifically that you want, let me know in the comments. I appreciate anyone that's come across my channel and watches. Thanks.